channel once again with a non-PWC match. This is another DPL match, the newly started league, with some familiar faces from the PWC, and this one again has two familiar faces from the PWC. We have on the one hand Ronansting, last season's participant in the Sinnoh League, and his opponent will be Prof, hailing from the Hoenn League of last season. So looking at the matchup, Ronansting brings Kyurem, Milotic, Fortress, Zarud, Nihilego, and Medicham. I believe that might be Mega Medicham, but I'm not sure. And Prof brings Lantern, Aromatisse, Bronzong, Terrakion, Gliscor, and Megalatias. For some godforsaken reason, Megalatias is allowed in this league, so I'm definitely excited to see how it's gonna do. So, I'm just gonna text these guys that I'm ready. And yeah, so one thing that definitely needs to be mentioned is that Prof's team this season is absolutely broken. I don't know how he managed to draft all these Pokemon without getting sniped along the way. But yeah, he didn't even bring Volcarona. He has that, and yeah, I don't even remember, but he has got a lot of big threats. And yeah, but looks like he brought some of his lower tier threats to this match. He leads off with one of them, called Aromatisse, with the nickname Medicheck. So I believe that might be intended to be his Mega Medicheck, which is interesting to me, because it has Protect, alright. I mean, yeah, this thing most of the time will run Wish Protect, so that's something always to keep in mind when facing off with Aromatisse. Alright, and Ronansting just tried to U-turn out here, turn 1, which means that Prof can now be pretty sure, or I would assume most of the time Zaruds are choiced in some way, most likely scarfed. So yeah, Prof can probably wish here and get a free switch into something. But yeah, then again, Ronansting can probably get up hazards here. I'm not sure if Aromatisse gets the Mystical Fire, the new fire moves that a lot of fairies get. So if he does, and he has it, Prof could definitely click that here, which would most likely be able to 2-hit KO a Fortress. But yeah, if he doesn't, he's definitely gonna eat some hazards here. Which, yeah, he has some potential defoggers. He definitely has Gliscor, which can carry defog, and also Megalatias. But somehow I doubt that he would want to waste a move slot for defog on Megalatias. Megalatias has the infamous 4 move slot syndrome sometimes, so you definitely want all the move slots you can get to be somewhat offensive or effective at least. Alright, so one of these guys is thinking for a long time. Knowing Prof, that's probably gonna be him. That guy likes to take his time with moves. And yeah, so we definitely see the rocks here as expected by Ronansting. And we see that Milotic is the first answer to this Megalatias. Alright, so Prof decides to go for some early game setup, which is interesting. Which I'm interested to see how Ronansting deals with this. So Milo gets Haze, which would at least negate the boosts. It can also obviously run Toxic or Ice Beam. But yeah, I mean, seeing a Megalatias with a Calm Mind up against a Milo is definitely trouble, because you never know when this Latias will run Substitute, which would mean that Milo is unable to Toxic it. But yeah, let's see. Definitely an interesting matchup here. And just looking at it, the Terrakion looks like a big problem for Ronansting. Alright, okay, so Prof lets the Latias get toxic, which is interesting. So if Ronansting has Haze here, that's definitely going to be a big L for Prof, because he just put in all that effort in vain and has a toxic Latias now. But then again, he does have potential. Alright, so he doesn't appear to have Haze. Prof definitely has potential Heal Bellers in Lantern and Aromatisse, so I expect him to have something against that Toxic. So yeah, but let's see, he's probably going to go into the root now, which Latias is such a bulky piece of work sometimes, so I'm not even sure if this Darkest Lariat will kill from this range, but we'll see. Definitely going to be interesting. So I think Prof should definitely think about switching out here. He's probably going to calc first of all. But then again, Ronansting also has the option to potentially just click U-turn here to either chip Latias or predict the switch out. And yeah, it really depends on how threatened Ronansting feels he is here. So he's gonna go for U-turn. Alright, so he makes the ballsy play here. Now he gets to heal up his Milo, which is good for him. So yeah, that was definitely a risk that Ronansting took there, and it paid off for him. I wonder if this Latias is mono stored power. In that case, it can't touch the root at all. So yeah. And one thing to keep in mind when talking about Prof is that Prof pretty much never has anything against Hazard. So um, whenever these rocks go up, even though he has Gliscor and Latias with him, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he doesn't have any Hazard removal whatsoever. But honestly, it wouldn't be the biggest deal in the world because his team is not especially Hazard weak. It has to be said. But yeah, let's see. He definitely has the opportunity to go for defog now if he has it. But he could also definitely U-turn again and pick up some momentum. And yeah, whenever he gets a free switch into Terrakion, pretty much something is gonna die. I wonder why Ronansting didn't recover earlier. He definitely had the opportunity to. He should definitely heal up the Milo as soon as he can. Because he's definitely gonna need it again against Latias, because Latias is gonna get healed up by he goes into Lantern. So he really doesn't deal with Milo well, because Lantern's Volt Switch is not gonna do anything to Milo. Let's see, it's gonna do 26%. That's nothing. So yeah, at least the Milo is a little bit healthier now again. And he knows what kind of Latias he's dealing with here, at the very least. But it's still uncomfortable for Ronansting, and the reason is, all right, he's gonna get Toxic. Yeah, that was kind of that was kind of obvious. So that was not good by Ronansting, honestly. I don't see any cleric on his team, and this Milo being Toxic is a huge deal because Prof had a big problem with this Milo, and now it's just pretty much yeah, that I don't agree with that decision at all. That was such an obvious Toxic. Could have just gone into Fortress and possibly even put up spikes if he had them. Or just in case Bronzong would put up Stealth Rocks, he could always Rapid Spin those away. So yeah, I think that was not the wisest decision in the long run, in my opinion, but we shall see. So yeah, this is shaping up to be a rather long match. There's not much progress happening here. Alright, so finally Terrakion comes in because Prof knows now that Milo is low. Ronansting doesn't really have a switch in here. He can go into Fortress once, but yeah, this is not gonna be a long-term solution because Fortress obviously doesn't have any recovery. Alright. Prof makes a good play here, predicting the possible Volt switch. But yeah, honestly, Gliscor was a safe switch either way. And now he just gets to, U-turn or just Gyro Ball, defog, I mean. So yeah, he actually has the defog, so that's good for him. And he gets to heal up this Glide score again. So yeah, he's getting all the free momentum. I don't really understand why Ronansting just doesn't switch into Curum. Honestly, Curum is... Alright, he goes into Medi instead. Which, yeah, I guess Medi is putting a little bit more pressure on the team, on the opposing team. So this Ice Punch appears really obvious. I'm interested to see what he's going to click instead. Kind of doubt that we are going to see the Ice Punch here. Alright, Aromatisse comes in. But yeah, he just goes for the Ice Punch. And I mean, if he has Zen Headbutt, that's definitely going to do a lot of damage here. But we shall see. If he does not, this can also just click Heal Bell now if it has it. No, he clicks Protect and wastes his momentum instead. As if Ronansting was going to click High Jump Kick there. Yeah, that was a wasted turn for Prof as well. But yeah, it looks like Ronansting's really struggling to make any progress against this team. Instead, he eats some hazards. And he's desperately trying to heal up the Milo now, but yeah, now that it's toxic, it's not gonna be a long-term check to anything anymore. And there goes the heal bell, and now he has a really big problem against Latias. Yeah. Not looking pretty at the moment. And yeah, I assume that this Terrakion is likely to be scarfed. Just because Prof is a little bit lacking in the speed department otherwise, apart from this possible Latias, but that might also be bulky, honestly, if it's running these Calm Mind Stored Power sets. So yeah, he might just rely solely on the Terrakion for his speed. But yeah, slowly but surely, Prof is getting the upper hand here. But this Ice Punch is gonna be annoying for Prof to switch into because he didn't heal up the Aromatisse, so it's probably gonna get 2-hit KO'd now by this incoming Ice Punch, which is annoying. So yeah, Midi is slowly back. Oh, he goes into Bronzong instead, but that's not really gonna do anything unless he has Protect on Bronzong as well, which is possible. The Aromatisse still can't switch into this HJK now. Nothing can, honestly. Nothing can. So yeah, it's pretty much pick your sack time for Prof. So yeah, this Medi is definitely Ronansting's best weapon at this point. Also because Prof didn't keep the Aromatisse at high health, which was necessary for him to continuously check the Medi. Alright, he's gonna try, but yeah, this is gonna do more than an Ice Punch, so that's not gonna work. Can just now just click the Ice Punch. He definitely shouldn't switch out that. Or, I mean, I guess he could, but... Oh, he does. Alright, so yeah, at least the Aromatisse is still down now because Prof decided to protect. So yeah, from now on he can just always click the fighting move whenever Medi gets to come in. Oh, he clicks Toxic. What? Why? Alright, I don't agree with that play at all. What was he expecting? If anything, he was going to switch into Bronzong. And yeah, I don't really agree with that play, but that's it. Right, going into Latias, which is interesting to me. Okay, so I think he would just Volt Switch here probably, or just go into Milo. Alright, so now we know 3 moves, and it's starting to look like he possibly is unable to touch Zarude, which would be very bad news, but Interesting. He definitely shouldn't let Zarude get low by these repeated switches into Stealth Rock unnecessarily. And yeah, this is just the old carousel here. All these pivot switches and nothing really happening. He always goes into Milo, but the rocks are here in Prof's favor. Yes, definitely. Alright, this is going to be another toxic, but then again he has to sack Milo now. But yeah, as I said, Milo is not going to wall anything anymore. And it wasn't really a check to Latias to begin with, it's just able to toxic it, so it will die later. But due to the fact that it's lacking haze apparently, it's not going to be able to continuously check the Latias, honestly. And had this been a substitute Latias, or it still might be, don't get me wrong, because this Milo doesn't have anything to hit a substitute Latios. So if this is has substitute as the last move, it would be bad and not bad at the same time, just because Milo would be unable to touch it, but obviously then the Latias can't touch the root at all, so that's something, I guess. Alright, so Latias is now, if it has another attacking move, it's now going to reveal it. Or not. Prof should probably just switch out again, because eventually he's going to win this game with Latias. Because this root is slowly but surely going to die to these rocks eventually. Yeah, so this is not the most exciting game in the world, unfortunately, but it's just a slow, grueling, mauling effort by Prof here. Slowly but surely wearing down the team, Ronansting's team. I wonder why we haven't seen any Kyurem action as of yet. That's interesting to me. Kyurem also looks like a big threat. Just look at Freeze Dry and look at the team. Bronzong's already at 40%. Aromatisse at 41, so nothing is really going to want to take it. So yeah, a potential Scarf Kyurem with Freeze Dry might be a good win con for the end game, but yeah, then again, there's still the Scarf Terrakion, which can always revenge kill it, so that might be one reason why Prof brought it. It definitely revenge kills Scarf Zarude, revenge kills Scarf Kyurem, so yeah, that's looking like some looming trouble for Ronansting for later in the match. Alright, so someone is taking his sweet time here for this next move. Don't really know what. Probably calking. Probably calking if he can lift this. Darkest Lariat if Ronansting clicks it. And he decides to sack off or recover for no reason. Alright, so now he knows that he's gonna go into. Yeah, alright. So he's probably still able to heal up the Aromatisse now, so that I don't really understand why Ronansting clicked this again. This was just, and there's the wish, yeah. Now he has another check for Medi, so yeah, Ronansting is wasting some of his momentum here sometimes. It has to be said, unfortunately. Yeah, this why this is not gonna do anything. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is looking rather nasty now for Ronansting. Yeah, what's he gonna go into? He could go into Fortress, but yeah, Fortress is just a dead end all the time, momentum-wise. He might want to, if he wastes too much time trying to toxic this Aromatisse for no reason, because the Lantern still has Heal Bell, so it's not going to do anything. He might eat another Wish here and allow Prof to wish up the Bronzong again, and then it's definitely, then we are in easy 6-0 territory at this point. Because, yeah, Prof really isn't threatened at all then. So yeah, he just He's giving Prof all the time in the world to keep his team healthy. And yeah, it's definitely gonna take a more aggressive playstyle to beat this super dangerous team. So he goes into the root on Aromatisse. Interesting. So I guess he predicted the switch into Lantern? Question mark, which is interesting. Or he might have just predicted the switch into Bronzong. But yeah, I definitely could see another wish there by the Aromatisse as well. So yeah, now we have it, the root against, this is going to be a U-turn or a power whip. Oh, now that was a mistake by Prof. He just, for no reason, oh wow, could have easily just gone into Gliscor probably. But yeah, now the Aromatisse is low again, so that's not good news, honestly. It did 48%, so even after this protect, it's gonna still be in range probably to this next power whip. So yeah, that was a little bit of a misplay by Prof. He doesn't have a switch in anymore because Bronzong is likely gonna die, Latias is likely gonna die, possibly Gliscor can. I would assume Gliscor can still take it, but not sure honestly. Yeah, he definitely just let the one thing that checks Medi just take all the damage, so that was not the move honestly for Prof. It just wasn't. Yeah, he should have sacked. Or I mean, then I can understand the switch into Aromatisse even less. So yeah, that was definitely a mistake. But yeah, there goes Bronzong, which always kind of invites in the fortress. And there we go. Fortress comes in, goes for Gyro Ball. Interesting. So yeah, interested. Oh, now he doubles into Kyurem. Interesting. What? Okay. So yeah, this appears to be a substitute Kyurem. Yeah, just looking at the lefties, which is cool against Lantern because it can always get up the sub on it. So yeah, this is going to be a Bronzong because this with Levitate still can easily. Oh, he goes for Dragon Dance. I think that's a little bit premature because, yeah, why? Even if you kill this Bronzong now, you're still gonna get revenged by Scarf Terrakion. Yeah, that was a cool win con, but that was premature. That was definitely premature. Ah, yeah. All right, let's see. I mean, if this is for some reason not a Scarf Terrakion, then this is probably GG, but it's gonna be Scarf Terrakion. He's just gonna go into it and he has no problem just clicking CC here. But it's interesting that Prof's taking such a long time to decide this move because it's really simple. He really only has one choice. Maybe Ronansting calced earlier and knows something, I don't know, but the damage we saw by Terrakion wasn't that impressive, so I would be, this is going to be a Scarf Terrak. So yeah, he doesn't really have a good switch in anymore. I think Fortress might get 2-hit KO'd here, and it definitely does. So yeah, that was just a little premature by Kyurem. Alright, now he can go into Medi and kill something. But obviously Medi at some point is gonna get whittled down here. But honestly, the root with Power Whip is still looking nice, but as I said earlier in the game, these Stealth Frogs, it never has taken a single hit in the entire game, but these Stealth Frogs just doing a number on it. Because this is such a long drawn out game. So yeah, in games like these, the rocks definitely always play a huge role. So yeah. All right, interested to see which mon Prof decides to sack here. Probably should just sack off the Aromatis. I don't really see what it does anymore. It doesn't check Medi. Yeah. Oh, he goes for Bullet Punch. I guess he must have calculated. Does the job from there. So, yeah, in that case, it definitely was the better option. And now he should just click Ice Punch to prevent any random switches into stuff. Yeah, and he does. I agree with that play at the very least. Alright, but now he still has a little bit of a problem because he can't really switch anything into Medi really because Latias probably doesn't do much damage to it. Unless it has something like Shadow Ball, because yeah, as we know, it mostly carries, we know of stored power, but not much else yet. But yeah, I mean, he definitely should probably go into, isn't he gonna go a threat? It has Black Sludge. Yeah, not really, I guess. I guess he should just go into Nihiligo first. Oh, he just stays in. Ah. Oh. Yeah, that means that Tarek will probably just win the game. He really needed all that health on Maddie, honestly. Now it's really just, yeah, I mean, he still has Bullet Punch, so yeah, that's something to keep in mind. He still has the Bullet Punch. So whenever he sacks him onto Tarek's close combat, he can always just probably take it out with Bullet Punch, or at least close to take it out. Should probably go into Kyurem now, I guess. Oh, he has Drain Punch as well. Oh, but don't get burned now. Alright, so this is definitely a cool set for him here. Having the Drain Punch. But yeah, so what's it gonna be? What does a Terrakion have to hit a Medi with? I don't know if anything better than Earthquake, honestly. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's GG. The Medi will take it home for Ronansting. Alright, that was surprising to me a little bit. Looked to me for the most part as Prof was in control, but yeah, this Medi was a huge threat from the beginning, so I guess Ronansting. Yeah, Prof says in the chat that he didn't have anything for Medi, which, I mean, it's definitely true after he switched Aromatis back into some attack after having it healed up, so that was his mistake. He should never have let it get low again, so that's why he pays the price here and loses it. So yeah, I definitely was a little bit confused by some of the plays, but that might also be me. Congrats to Ronansting. That was a good come from behind win here. And definitely a huge message to the competition here, taking out probably the strongest team in the league, at least from team strength on week 1. All right, so congrats Ronansting. Also congrats Prof for drafting such a crazy team. And yeah, we will see you guys in another one.